the script, including the next scene, which is where things really come to a head and another side of Jack is exposed. So I'm gonna just say it. He a whole wife beater. Side note, really quick, why are these called wife beaters? When I was younger, I always thought people were saying white beater. When I found out it was wife, I was like, anyways, back to the story. They're at home and they get into an argument after he finds her Lysol. She finally admits that she wants more out of life and that he's the one who wanted her to stay at home and be a stay-at-home mom. He throws the Lysol at her and grabs her up. And at first you might think it's a one-off, but he says, "Sorry, I didn't mean it," and she responds, "You never do." So this is nothing out of the ordinary for them. In the following scenes, the big secret that Jack is hiding starts to unravel. Now, the plot of the film is centered around the secret, although details haven't been made public. And at first glance, you might think he may be cheating on her. You know, he's this perfect guy who everyone loves, but he treats his wife like crap behind closed doors, so he obviously has a side chick. Nope. Couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, you almost wish he was cheating on her when you see the twisted things that's really going on. So it all starts when Alice is walking home from the grocery store and she spots that lovely green convertible sitting outside of a motel. And like, you know your man's car, especially when there's something fishy going on with him. Like, yeah, that's his car. Jack rounds the corner going into the motel and she follows him to confront him. Next thing you know, she's waking up in an MRI looking machine and her legs are weak. She can't walk. And now she's confused, like, what's going on? Jack comes running in half naked and injects her with a syringe. He's like, "You found my exit portal. That's all right, I'll build a new one." Exit portal? Is this dude an alien? That was my first thought anyway, because, like, where you going? Well, I'll tell you now, that's not his secret, but it was a pretty good guess if I say so myself. When she regains consciousness, she's at the doctor's office and he tells her she's experiencing a temporary psychotic disorder triggered by stress. And he prescribes her what he calls happy pills to help calm her nerves. So back home, Jack is being an attentive husband, making sure she gets to bed, making sure she eats, and most importantly, making sure she takes her happy pills. He tries to convince her that she had a bad dream, but she's not feeling his vibe. Understandably so, because this is some odd stuff. The next day, everything hits the fan. Alice follows Jack to this house that says up for sale by Alt Life Realty. Remember that name, Alt Life Realty. On the way to the house, as she's driving, she realizes Jack's briefcase is in the car and it's open. Pages and pages of cartoon ad cutouts. Successful marriages start in the kitchen. Train your wife. Show her it's a man's world. Just the most misogynistic things you can think of. Then to make matters worse, Jack drew graphic images on them. My girl Alice in the car and I'm like, I don't know, girl. So she gets to the house and tries to go through the window. Same thing happens as last time. She blacks out, and when she comes to, she's in the machine. But this time, she musters enough strength to get to this door. So behind this secret door, there's a room that's described as looking like a man cave for a computer nerd. She opens the blinds and this is what she sees. Skyscrapers, flying cars, the whole enchilada. She's looking around, she sees a divorce certificate for she and Jack. She also sees a digital Time magazine with the headline, 4 more years, Madam President. And it's a picture of a black woman. So she really thought she was dreaming then, and I thought that was pretty funny. There's also a picture of Jack's Employee of the Month award, and it's dated May 2050. So now she's really confused. I'm confused. It's just a lot to take in. Well, It gets worse. She goes to the computer where she finds a file labeled Alt Life. She clicks on it and it's a video of Dr. Anderson, the same doctor who gave her the happy pills. He's giving an infomercial about Alt Life. Tired of a world ruled by women? Yearning to go back to simpler times where a woman's place stretched no further than the kitchen? The video goes on and on about what steps to take to join this online simulated reality, but it's a lot deeper than something like The Sims that we have today. Even going as far as giving examples of how to fake the death of an ex-wife by swapping her memory and using injections. She sees another file labeled with her name. She clicks on it. There's tons of pictures of her in this futuristic world where she seemingly just discovered. There's evidence of accomplishments in her research in neuroscience, and then she comes across articles of her disappearance. Neurosurgeon dies after mysterious car accident. Body still not found. So in the midst of all of this, Jack comes back to the house after a long day of work in the real world, so she hurries to hook herself back up to the simulation machine, barely missing him. The script says in real life, Jack looks the same, but he's not as well put together as in his, simulated life, which is normally how these characters are written, or they're completely opposite of their online persona. But anyways, when she re-enters the simulated world, the first thing she does, again, is another cliche. She tells her friend Betsy that their lives aren't real. She tries to jog her brain and really make her think about the strange circumstances they live in, and of course, without fail, Betsy doesn't believe her, and she's disturbed by Alice and all her tall tales.